Слышно меня, нет?
Ну, наверное, слышно.
My name is Vladimir
Погромче.
Pronkevich. I will present
Погромче.
you a report of the topic distribution and abundance of Norman Greenshank within the breeding range. The Norman Greenshank is a breeding endemic of the Russian Far East.
Погромче.
The modern breeding range is represented as three isolated areas on the coast of the Sea of Okhotsk. The mainland coast within Khabarovsk Krai, eastern and western coast of northern Sakhalin Island, and a small section of the mainland coast of Magadan Oblast. The western and eastern coast of northern Sakhalin Island have been identified as particularly important for breeding Norman Greenshank. For example, in the beginning of the 20th century, Norman Greenshank bred in South Aniva Bay of Sakhalin Island. However, due to economic development throughout the region, especially oil and gas extraction, this area no longer supports a breeding population. Over the past decades, the nesting area of the Norman Greenshank has significantly decreased throughout Sakhalin Island. The species stopped nesting in 5 out of 8 known sites. The number of Norman Greenshank of the northeast coast of Sakhalin Island decreased by 90% out of 25 breeding pairs. In 70 and 80 of the last century, only 2 or 3 breeding pairs remain near Dagi River mouth. Currently, breeding groups only remain of hard to reach coastal areas on the northeast Sakhalin Islands. The current abundance of breeding Norman Greenshank is Sakhalin Islands is estimated at 25 or 30 pairs. In this picture, we can see a nest area Norman Greenshank. Udskaya Guba, one pair of breeding birds was discovered in July 1980. This location has not been surveyed since. Tarom River mouth, one pair of breeding birds was discovered in July 1990. This location has not been surveyed since. Tugur Bay, 5 pairs of breeding birds were discovered in 1990. This location has not been surveyed since. Western part of the Constantine Bay. In July 1990, 30 pairs were discovered. In July 2016, only 4 pairs of birds were found. Southern Ulban Bay, in July 2012, 1 pair was discovered. This habitat has not been resolved during the breeding season. Nikolai Bay, near Piche Bay, in July 2010, 6 pairs were discovered. Subsequently, the bay has not been resolved during the breeding season. Nikolai Bay, near Piches Spit, in July 2016, 1 breeding pair of birds was discovered. Subsequently, this point was not rechecked during the breeding season. Nikolai Bay, soft part, in July 2011, on breeding pairs was found. Subsequently, the bay has not been resolved during the breeding season. Счастье Bay, In late June to early July 29, 18 pairs we found. Nevelsky Street near Niger River mouth, 1 or 2 pairs nested in the region from 25 to 2011. According to this survey data, in 2013, 2016, and 2018, Norman Greenshank stopping nesting in this area. Slide 7. Thus, for entire period of ornithological research in the Khabarovsk territory, 10 breeding sites of Norman Greenshank have been identified. Due to the inaccessibility of these areas, 8 of these sites were visited by ornithologists only once during the breeding season. Therefore, currently it is not possible to determine the long-term dynamics of Norman Greenshank population abundance on its breeding ground. In 2 other breeding sites where surveys were periodically conducted, a negative population trend was highlighted, for example, in Constantina Bay. From 1990 to 2016, the number of species decreased from 30 to 4 pairs. In the Nevelsky Street, the breeding groups of the Norman Greenshank, 2 pairs, disappeared in 2012 and 2013. In the area of the mouth of the Melkachan River in 1997 and 1998, 2 pairs Norman Greenshank were supposed to breed. Subsequently, this point was not rechecked during the breeding season. To date, we know breeding site Norman Greenshank abundance is as follows: 2 pairs in Magadan Oblast, 38 pairs in Khabarovsk Krai, and 5 or 30 pairs in Sakhalin Island, representing a total abundance of breeding birds to around 65 or 70 pairs or 140 adult birds. Obviously, the entire breeding range need to be thoroughly censored. Tagging birds which tracking device may help determine the true breeding range of the species, help identify previously unknown sites, and help clarify the species breeding population throughout the Russian Far East. World population. The total number of the Norman Greenshank is at critically low level, based on records obtained throughout the species migratory and wintering range. Its abundance is estimated at only 1,000 or 1,200 individuals in different years, and 850 or 950 individuals. According to some authors, this number may be overestimated due to the observation of the same birds in different parts of the wintering range by different observation groups. This may explain the discrepancy between the number of birds recorded with the breeding range and wintering grounds. Experts are particularly concerned about the low proportion of juvenile birds in groups of migrants throughout non-breeding territories. For example, according to data from Zhang Lin, during the fall of 2017, only 4 young birds were recorded among 500 observed Nordmann Greenshank in coastal southeast China. In this map, we can see temporary residence of birds and promotion breeding grounds for birds that have not been surveyed. In 2016, we prepared a justification for organization of the protected natural area sea base of Nikolai, Ulbansky, and Konstantin. This area consists of several cluster areas. The project has passed the state expertise, but until now this territory has not been approved by the government of the region. Thank you for attention.
Thank you very much, Doctor. What a wonderful presentation.